the report is that if things don't work out with Brock or Trey or Sam this year, that Kirk Cousins will be a free agent, and the Niners could be interested because they've always been interested. Kyle's always been interested. The Rams could be interested if Matthew Stafford retires. There could be a little tug of war, although Kirk just goes to the highest bidder. He's been playing under guaranteed contracts for a very long time. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't give anyone a discount. And the Niners could go into business with him if they want. Do you think that's likely?
No. I think Kirk, fiscally, I don't think it's possible. For Kirk to, well, I mean, he would screw the CBA, but it's like the NFL has the weakest CBA in pro sports. But it just doesn't even make sense for his brand to go backwards, right? Even taking a deal where you're not getting guaranteed money would speak volumes for quarterbacks moving forward with guaranteed money. I mean, he was the first to do it. And I don't think that even just from a political standpoint, the Players Association would frown upon him taking a non-guaranteed deal. That's something that they just can't back off of. It's a step forward. That's one. Two, I think that Kirk is one of those guys that I think maybe Kyle likes Kirk more than Kirk likes Kyle.
That's hella funny.
Yeah.
That's hella funny. I hadn't thought of that. I had not considered that possibility. What do you mean?
And what I mean by that is like, I've scouted, and when you scout, let's be honest, you covet, especially a guy that you want. So there are things about his ability, who he is as a person. It's almost like you see more in this person before they see it in themselves, right? And really, Kyle really isn't strapped to people. He's strapped to his system, right? Make no mistake about it. I know that there's guys that he may hang around on the peripheral to like throw him some pizza money if they just want to hang around the team and he known them for a while. But that system dictates who Kyle needs, right? And I feel like because of that, it's not as if you get to really know a guy and say that, hey, you may not give me what I want exactly in this system, but we can make it work for you, right? Yeah. That's not what this scheme does. This scheme is all about you need to be able to put the ball exactly where I want it. And who's to say that that's who Kirk is now? Who's to say that that's how Kirk even operates this offense now as a grown man? Kyle got Kirk as a kid. And on top of it, Kyle was only with Kirk for like maybe 4 games, if that. And really, Kirk's true development into being a starter was with Sean McVay. It wasn't with Kyle. So as far as time on task, actually getting him on the field, working, man, when Kirk first started, I was here in Washington. When Kirk first started, he had some stinkers, especially the Monday night game against the Giants. Like, Jesus, like, Kirk had some horrible games that Sean McVay rode him through, not Kyle. So even and then at the time, Kirk had a very gregarious head coach in Jay Gruden at the time, who was rough on quarterbacks. He was a quarterback himself. And I remember Sean being a very big part of Kirk's maturation process into the NFL. And I feel like we have this narrative that everybody that Kyle wants automatically just wants to go there, or that just wants to be recruited. But if it came down to Sean and Kyle going after Kirk Cousins, I think that not only would the Rams have the upper hand with the personal level as far as the in route with the coaches, but I also feel like the Rams have shown that they're willing to do way more with their cap, with their money to actually get players in than the Niners are. The Niners are kind of disjointed, right? We're like the government. We're 3 separate houses. We have checks and balances, right? We have our organization with the front office, then we have our coaching staff, and then we have Parag, right? So the Niners are pretty much ran in an assembly line versus where the Rams are out here saying, fuck them picks for a whole year. Like, they look like they can get it done. And then lastly, we have to just go with history. We're 0-1. We already did this. We lost Sam Darnold to Sean McVay when Kyle and Sean both went up head-to-head to get Matt and
Stafford.
Matt Stafford, yeah. And he chose He chose to go with the Rams. So,
Right.
And then that's just one team. We're not even talking about the other teams in there who just had the money to spend and will say, "Hey, Kirk, come check us out."
Well, hold on. Let's come back to something. You said something a few minutes ago that was really interesting. Might be one of those situations where Kyle likes Kirk more than Kirk likes Kyle. Let's stay there, okay?
Yeah.
Why does Kyle like Kirk? Well, when they worked together, Kirk was 23, 24, 25, fourth round
He was
pick.
young.
And we've all heard Kirk. Like, Kirk is kind of a people pleaser. He's coachable. He knows everyone's name. He's very respectful. I could see Kyle loving him. Like, man, this is the most coachable, smart quarterback I've ever had. But that was before his first contract. Kirk Cousins is a very, very rich and powerful man who makes more money annually than Kyle. So the power dynamic might not be what Kyle remembers. That was like 10 years ago. If they were to work together again, I don't know that Kirk would be as patient with Kyle's negativity, because Kyle is relentlessly negative no matter who the quarterback is. And I think he feels he just needs a guy who can take it. I don't know that Kirk would take it anymore. I don't know.
I don't, but that's the thing though, Grant. Did Kirk ever get it? Kirk hasn't even dealt with being the starter under Kyle. Kirk got to sit back.
He probably saw it.
Kirk got to sit back and watch Robert go through it.
Yeah.
Right. So Kirk's never really been flat-footed on the carpet, really having to deal with Kyle. And really, it's almost like Kyle's like a girlfriend. Like, yeah, it's cool for us to dilly-dally around, do what we got to do. But it's a whole different ball game when you're in a relationship with somebody and you living together, right?
Yeah.
So we talk about Kirk and Kyle's relationship, and I'm sure there's off-season stuff where like they definitely kept the relationship, but Kirk, you can say what you want about Kirk, but one thing I will say is that he runs his team. He's a real quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
He runs his team.
Yep. The real quarterback, and I'm not sure that Kyle Shanahan is really looking for a real quarterback.